Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about the 7 ways to know that you found your twin flame. Hey, I'm El Hari, Twin Flame and Ascension alchemist, writer, teacher, and coach. I help people experiencing a twin flame journey overcome the obsessive thoughts, pain, and fear, feel amazing, experience vast improvements in every area of their lives, and magnetize their twin flames back into their physical lives within an energetic space of pure, unconditional love. So, what are the 7 ways you know that you found your twin flame? We get this question asked a lot, and I just want to put out a disclaimer here before I get into those real quick that everyone's journey is unique and individual, the way it plays out physically. And so there's no way to box it. If you tick all of these boxes, great. If you only have one or two of them, perfect. If you don't even recognize any of these, that does not mean that you are not on a twin flame journey. Okay, this is just a question we get asked constantly, a lot of the time. And so I just thought it'd be nice to address this here, but there is no right or wrong answer. There's no way to box it. There's no, checklist that you have to tick all of the boxes or even any of the boxes. This is just a general guideline or rule from my own experience and what we've seen with our students here. So without further ado, we'll get into it. So the first one I want to talk about is our physical obstacles. So I've said this before, but it's very common for twin flames to, on the physical level of the relationship, to find themselves attracted to each other and start relating with each other when there are things that are present that would make or break other relationships. Like they wouldn't think to normally be in a relationship with this person. And these things are always physical. And so they're always, superficial. And so definitely not in the realm of the soul. And so that's why, your soul is more powerful to have you overlook these things when it is with your twin flame. But these are things I'm talking about, such as vast age differences, very large age differences. I remember one of my particular students, Amelia, she and her twin flame with 30-year age difference. And she said she would never, ever have considered being in, he was older than her, and she would never have considered looking at such an old man. He's older than her father, and she was just, flabbergasted that she would even consider being in a relationship with this person who was her twin flame. But so large age differences is definitely one. Physical distance and actual not even seeing each other in person ever, just meeting online is another. And where it would matter, and different religions, different races, different sexes or same sexes, when neither one has been straight before or gay before. Just typical things like that, where ordinarily some people might not consider even looking twice at someone like that, right? And they're all obviously superficial obstacles and reasons not to be with someone usually. But it just goes to show that the soul is way more powerful than any filters or judgments that our minds can place on things, or any limiting beliefs that we have about people. So that would be the first thing, would be some kinds of physical obstacles. By physical, of course, I mean, things like I just said, in the physical world about each other. The second thing I would like to talk about as a sign would be a definite buildup of energy. So once soul recognition has happened, which is when you actually start your twin flame journey, you experience, and that happens on the subconscious level. You don't know when that happens. You don't decide when that happens. You don't feel when that happens. There's no way of knowing when that happens. However, from that moment on, your energy of your soul builds up within you and your twin flame. Your shared energetic field builds up. And so that buildup of energy is a very telltale sign that you've been with your twin flame. And when you're in the throes of that, it feels like you feel closer with your twin flame than you've ever felt with anyone else ever before. You feel a familiarity and a comfort level that you've never felt with anyone else before. You feel like a feeling of home, that you've come home, that you connect in like every way imaginable. The sex is amazing, like all this stuff. And so that's what I mean, the build of energy. It just feels like you found it. You just found home, and it's just the most perfect perfect thing you could ever imagine. So that would be the second sign. The third sign would be what we call the tipping point. And you don't know it in the moment of the tipping point usually, but looking back, you can definitely pinpoint the tipping point. And so the tipping point happens, remember, with the buildup of energy, after soul recognition, your energy builds up in the energetic field. And that's what lifts you up and you just feel like, oh, so amazing. It's like the honeymoon period, right? And then, but it reaches a certain point where all of a sudden you repel and your twin flame's gone and it's just what? And that point at which it shifts from the buildup to the ghost or whatever you want to call it is the tipping point. And looking back, like I said, when you're in it, you don't really realize it. But looking back, most people, myself and most of my students, can remember the exact time the tipping point happened. I remember for my student Dave, he said that it happened in this one moment where he was sitting outside. His twin flame came outside, and they were getting ready to go out into this big party or something. It was like a holiday or something, and something came out, and they just locked eyes, and they just held that gaze for like I don't know. He said he didn't know how long it was, but he could have sat there forever. And next thing you know, it was perfect. They had a great night. But then suddenly, like after that night, everything just like started to collapse. It all just went downhill. All of a sudden he started, he felt like, jealousy come in and possessiveness about his twin flame. He felt fear that his twin flame started spending time with other people and too much time at work and not with him. And so, this culminated in a bunch of fear on his fear-based energy on his part of, wanting to grab on and push more out towards his twin flame to try to grab onto his twin flame because he felt as if the twin flame was pulling away. And of course, as he was pushing out, the twin flame was pulling away because that's how the energy works, push, pull. But there's the definite point, that tipping point. He said from that moment on, when he never felt more connected with her, it was like the climatic part of their whole entire relating experience. And then from that point, it went down. And then she was gone within a week. And for no reason. And of course, he was devastated. So, there's that tipping point. And if you're honest with yourself and you look back, you might be able to find your tipping point. Because most twin flames on this journey do have one. The next thing I want to talk about is if you found your twin flame, and your twin flame has since disappeared, went MIA, or not, because you'll find that you could be stuck in one of two relating dynamics. These are the typical relating dynamics for people experiencing a twin flame journey. And so the first one is that your twin flame just ghosts. All of a sudden, they're just gone out of your life, like Casper, right? Like, where are you? And they block you on everything. You just cannot get to them physically. Should you try, there's just an actual energetic wall blocking you and your twin flame physically from being together. Of course, that's the energy, the push-pull builds up. That's what we specialize in. We help people tear down that energetic wall, and so the soul can bring them back together again. However, that's the first dynamic. The other relating dynamic that's typical of twin flames is the back and forth relating pattern. So in this dynamic, the twin flame does leave, but, they can still kind of communicate maybe here and there, and then the twin flame comes back. And then they leave and they come back. And this is very often seen in situations where, the pole twin flame is married and they keep going back to their spouse who they said they were getting a divorce from or whatever, or back into another relationship that's waiting there on the side or whatever. It's a back and forth thing. And so that's the other typical relating dynamic. So that's another sign that you have connected with your twin flame. Another one is obsessive thoughts. So once your twin flame ghosts and leaves you, or you find yourself stuck in the back and forth, painful, heartbreaking, shattering, relating experience with your twin flame, you'll find that you have obsessive thoughts about them. You just cannot stop focusing on what they are doing, saying, thinking, feeling. It's like you're a psycho. It's like you're a creeper. You creep their social media. You drive by their house. You drive by their work. And not only that, you start creeping on the other person that they're seeing, social media, all their friends' social media. You're refreshing the pages all the time. You just can't stop. You find yourself being psycho when ordinarily you're a completely sane person, right? You've never acted psycho before. That's another very telltale sign you have connected and found your twin flame. Going along with that, the next sign, core wound pain. Core wound pain is exacerbated and actually brought on by the obsessive thoughts. And core wound pain is a pain that feels like a deep gaping hole in one of your either heart, solar plexus, or sacral chakras. And it just feels like you've been disemboweled there, like somebody reached in and pulled your soul right out of there, and it's just left with this gaping hole. And this pain it can vary in degree and intensity from one person to the other, but it is a pain. Sometimes it's a flutter, sometimes it's a pain. And again, it can happen in your heart, solar plexus, or sacral chakras. And this is exacerbated, this pain, by your obsessive thoughts, because there you are, these obsessive thoughts, and the obsessive thoughts are not good. They're focusing on your twin flame being with someone else. Your twin flame hates you. How could they do this? Did they never really love you? Blah, 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 right? And just on and on and on, and these obsessive thoughts swirling around. What did we do? What did I do wrong? And, you're believing in those thoughts. Then the more you have those thoughts and feeding the fear of those thoughts and believing the fear of those thoughts, the more it affects and exacerbates the pain in your core wound. Other things that affect the pain in your core wound is your energy is once it became activated at soul recognition, it became very sensitive and very susceptible to feeling outside external energies in the universe. And so if you have core wound pain in either your heart, solar plexus, or sacral chakra, you will very oftentimes, this is very common, especially in the beginning parts of the journey, and as we start working with our students, and then as they start moving along, it gets less and less progressively, of course. But during certain celestial events, it's very common for your core wound pain to become more activated. And so, during moon phases, full moons, new moons, eclipses, things of that nature, energies in the celestial realm very often affect people. Equinoxes and solstices. Equinoxes and solstices affect, like I said before, eclipses. Things going on there, even, retrogrades of planets and conjunctions of planets and stuff can affect it. And so things just go beyond our control. Not that anything is in our control, but beyond the universe, out in the universe that we might even not be aware of happening, can activate our core wound pain. So our core wound pain is very susceptible to a lot of energies around, and even the collective energy of the planet. When people are collectively in a lot of fear, say, as it goes on with the coronavirus, that can activate people's core wound pain, as long as if they don't know what we teach, which is how to balance out and deactivate it. But that is another sign of that you have connected with your twin flame. The other sign, the final sign, would be doubt. And I've talked about this before all the time, and everyone seems to have doubt that someone's their twin flame. Doubt is fear. It's uncertainty. And remember, it's a fear-based energy that is, causing all of this pain, that is causing all this strife, that is keeping you and your twin flame seemingly apart physically, even though you're never really separated because you're the same being. But it's fear that is being shown to you, and for a reason, because it's this fear that the whole point of this journey is taking this fear and transmuting and alchemizing it into love. So fear, doubt, and uncertainty is a form of fear. And doubt is the one form of fear even as you transmute it all and you go through the whole entire process and you work through our program and you're just feeling amazing, doubt can still creep in here and there. Less and less intensity of it and degrees of it. But it will still creep in up until almost the moment you are fully balanced regarding your twin flame and twin flame journey. It's just the way it is. And it's very common. I don't know any student that it hasn't happened to. Even if you resonate with this, even if you resonate and with everything on this website, and like in your core of your essence, in your soul, because your soul does know. Your soul knows itself. And your soul knows that you led you here and knows that you are in a twin flame journey. Even if you resonate with that to the deepest degree, in some moments, you can switch into a moment of doubt. And doubt will come in. And that's perfectly normal. And it is a definite telltale sign that you have connected with your twin flame. So there you are. Those are the 7 signs that you've connected with your twin flame. If you would like help deciphering any of those signs in your own unique situation, or help by people on our team who know what you're going through, know how to help you to move along your journey as quickly and simply and painlessly as possible, and to actually start feeling amazing within the next 2 weeks, and how to deactivate your core wound pain if you have it, how to stop those obsessive thoughts, and how to just feel amazing and really reap the benefits of this journey, because this journey is a gift and a blessing. And it's a miracle, because it is about you, your soul, and you are miraculous, and you are perfect, and you are love. Definitely schedule a call with one of our team members and get started on this amazing journey in the way that will get you there, that will get you everything you truly desire. Thanks for watching this video, and lots of love.